Hello and welcome back. So this is obviously an exciting video. Do you want to say it or do you want me to say it?
No, we can say it together.
Okay, you want to say it together? This is not rehearsed. We'll see how this goes.
What, three,
Two,
one on one or what? Like
right after one.
right after one. So no go.
No go.
No go. All right. 3, 2, 1.
We bought a house. Oh well, we're close.
Home, house.
We really haven't filmed too much since our trip to New York, and if I sound funny, it is because I'm actually fighting a little bit of congestion and stuff right now, which is not fun. But we have something really big happening today. Paul's gonna be here in a little bit. We both just did like a half day at work, and so we're gonna meet here. But yes, today we are doing the signing, so we're doing our final walkthrough here in just a few minutes. I'm here a little early, so I was like, I'm gonna do a little vlog clip and update you guys. But yes, we finally are buying a house.
It's
Step by
definitely
step.
starting to feel more like home.
Which is where we're at right now.
Yes.
In the bedroom of our new home.
Yeah, which we'll give like a tour later on, I think. But it's been a process, so it's still a little bit messy. Sorry, I'm looking at a cat outside the window right now.
That's what I was looking at too.
I got distracted. But it's been good. If you guys don't know our story, we had over this past summer, we had put an offer on a different house and some things came up in inspections, and really ultimately we didn't feel at peace. We were actually feeling a lot of anxiety and stress over that house.
Long story short, people weren't really willing to help or negotiate. In fact, they went out of their way to kind of hide or put a band-aid on things. Yeah, and so we just didn't follow through with the purchase.
Yeah, which there's a whole video on that too if you want to hear the whole story, and why we were living with Paul's parents, my in-laws. So that's where we have been, and we had looked at many of homes in this whole process. I mean, really, truly, I was looking every morning. I literally had a routine. My alarm went off. Before I got up, I did my Wordle, which if you don't know Wordle, it's just a mind game to get me awake. And then right after that, I went to my Realtor app. Actually 2 different Realtor apps I was looking at every single morning.
And I'm gone to work by this time.
Yeah.
Every time I'm going to do my job, I'm getting spam notifications about 3, like 4, 5 homes.
This. So it's not like we weren't looking. It literally took us months, but we had another house that we had put earnest money on also. And do you want to tell that story? Because it was a home in a different town, but still in our area.
Which one?
Okay, so it was a really cute house, but when I went to look at it, because I did the initial tour, Paul was not. He was out of town. Yeah, he was out of town, and I was like, "Oh, I'll go." I know my realtor. She's my godmother, so we went, and I was like, "Cute home, has a ton of potential," but it was so messy, like hoarder level messy, which obviously we're not going to be like that. So I'm trying to look past that. But in order to even do inspections, I'll let you take over from there.
So here, Caitlin rewinding was FaceTiming me when we decided to go ahead and put an offer in on the house. Now, FaceTime, I thought was okay. And then I wanted to go see it after our offer was accepted very quickly. And we even went like considerable amount under what they wanted. Yeah. So I was like, okay. So then I went and looked at it, and I was noticing several things with the ceiling, little things. They had roof damage that they disclosed and said they were going to fix. But to what she was saying was the house was such in disarray because of how much garbage they had. It was, to put it in perspective, a divorce home. So the ex-husband had moved out, leaving the wife and 4 kids there. And it was a premarital asset, and by the court, they had to sell. But in order for the inspector to even come out, we had it in our agreement that the day before the inspector was to come out, we would go ahead and come in and do a spot check to make sure he could actually do his job.
Because like to put it into perspective, you could not inspect under the cabinets with how much stuff there was.
It was
and
wall to wall
literally
stuff.
The garage was so packed you cannot take but 2 steps in it, and he has to be able to access the attic space. So we're not wanting to spend $1,000+ on an inspector to come in if she's not gonna
that much. But
well, either way, like if she's not gonna pick up her stuff, like we're not gonna want to spend that money.
I'm not gonna play that waiting game and waste my money on having our time. So when we went out there, I went to go check to see everything, and I drove past the house because I was a little early, and all I saw was the garage still completely packed out. So she went ahead and she was trying to go ahead and bust butt to go ahead and get this garage in shape. And what I mean by bust butt and stuff like that is she cleared a path to the furnace, basically. No, that's not cleared. We had it in there like, garage needs to be cleared. She was loading up her van and taking pieces and just dropping it off at Goodwill because they weren't open that day or whatever. And so she'd just been kind of leaving it outside, I guess. It was a very interesting, rough situation.
Which, like, I feel for her. She's raising 4 kids. Like, I understand. But at the same time, because of our current history with the home buying process and because we really do need to find a home, we are we are going to rely a lot on inspections because of what happened in our previous offer. And B, we are a little bit more on a time crunch because if you haven't seen our past videos, like I'm expecting. And so we weren't rude about it.
Yes.
Like I feel for her. I can't imagine what she's going through.
But you can't help people that can't help themselves.
Yes. And like we have to protect ourselves especially with our last one, like we proceeded with caution. Let me put it that way.
So I went ahead, took videos of how all the house was and everything, and went ahead and messaged our realtor so that she had a trail, and she was with me there, but we wanted a trail of everything. And I said, I'm not even going to bother with inspection. He's not going to be able to come out here and do any of his job. And so the cool part of the story is that was that day. By later that night, they said, we have another house. It's in a certain area, and we'd like to go ahead, and would you like to go see it? And we said, yeah, let's go ahead, because they had really said they liked this house. Been on the market for a little bit. It had received a cash offer, which they turned down. It was
way below.
I get, yeah, it would have to be. And then another offer, and they turned it down. And we were like, okay. So we went and saw. Go and see the house. The house is excellent. Great neighborhood. Good listing price. It was in a neighborhood that we already had looked at before. And
it's really close to a lot of things.
And our realtor even. So I was very excited.
Which is my godparents.
Yes. So when we asked them, because we are still tied up with earnest money on the other home just from the other day, we have to still process everything. We had asked, like, we can't even put an offer in on this house
until the cancellation from
goes through.
The home that we pulled out of because it was so messy goes through. But it was like a God thing how that literally played out. And I can't tell you the difference between this whole home buying process versus the very first one. Like the amount of peace and just, I literally have had totally different thoughts. I mean, I get emotional with change, and I feel like I've been a little more emotional because of pregnancy, but like it was still peace behind all that, although there were a lot of emotions because of the change and a lot of moving pieces that needed to happen. But it was like literally a God thing, and that's what we had been praying for from the very beginning, but especially after that whole situation with the first home. It could have only been God that did that this way.
Because right after, like, we had seen the house and stuff, and this was all right before Christmas, I think week before, shortly. And our realtor gave us a document and said it's an early Christmas present. They went ahead and like that night, I guess after we pulled out because they're probably wanting to put the house back on the market so quick, refunded us our earnest money, and so we were no longer contractually obligated with that home. And we said, okay. So then we went and did our math and things and what we wanted to go ahead and put down, and received coaching on what we wanted to make for an attractive offer, and did, and we got it. And it was like, that's awesome, but it was also like, I'm gonna go ahead and stay as like neutral as possible.
Yeah.
Like, you just kind of like gauging my feelings on like getting excited
Because of what happened last time.
Yes.
Like, we wanted to know what was going to happen with inspections is really the big thing.
Yeah, and like, so I can't remember when inspections all went down. It had to have been after Christmas or something.
Yeah, it was. I'm pretty sure.
We got our inspector out here. He looked it over. He remembered the house before, and he goes, "This is so much better than the one home in the summer that we had the problems with the sellers and everything." And we were like, "Well, that's great to hear." And he had very minor fixes, like one or two big things that we said, okay. And we were able to negotiate or just ask the seller, hey, this was brought up in inspection. This was the big one. Would you mind going ahead and getting quotes, or like just seeing where we're going with this? And they said, we'll get back to you. They got quotes to fix it. They fixed it. And it was just great overall experience. Super peaceful.
Yeah. Complete 180 from the first time.
It was,
even with the sellers, like the sellers were so cooperative on this one. And just, it was literally an answer to our prayers and what we have been praying for this house. And this house, I mean, there's definitely some updating it needs to have done, but I'm excited. I'm kind of like dreaming, getting ideas. I've maybe overwhelmed Paul a little bit with my ideas, but I'm excited. Like, it's exciting to have like a place, especially with baby coming, like, oh, this is going to be like the nursery, and oh, we can do this project in here. It's just fun to have like our own space where we can actually do these things now.
Lots of things. And I'm so grateful to my parents that, when they took us in, it was only supposed to be for
we were thinking
a week.
We were thinking maybe even 2 months, like after closing and everything.
No, I'm talking about before. Like, we were ending our lease with our apartment.
Yes.
We were moving into my parents' for seemingly about a week or a week and a half. And then that's when we didn't go through with it. And we're like, well, crap. And they were so gracious to us. They said, look, because we ended up losing earnest money on that one just because we didn't want to mess with it. And so my dad had said, he goes, go ahead. He goes, we're not going to charge you rent. But we went ahead, we made dinner, we bought groceries, we did other things in between, and it helped them out as much as it helped us out too, with a lot of things, with the dogs, companionship. My brother still lives at home, so he had some people there when mom and dad aren't there. Yeah. So it helped out in a lot of ways, but he said, go ahead, recoup your earnest money. And we were able to save in that, 6 months, like several thousands of dollars to put towards an even bigger down payment for this one, which, glory to God, just was another thing to add to everything.
Yeah. And I mean, honestly, like, a lot of people be like, at least to me, they're like, oh, you're living with your in-laws? Like, how's that going?
We're like, incredible.
Honestly, like, I'm so blessed that I have such wonderful in-laws, not just my mother and father-in-law, but also with my brother-in-law, and having that time with them was actually really special, especially with us expecting our baby, and like having that time with them as I'm going through changes, to have that with them, it was really, really cool.
It was.
And just, I'm so grateful. And I don't look back on that season as what it could have been. Like, it could have been really, really, not to say it wasn't difficult, like it had its difficult moments as far as like the first house and that falling through, but I'm looking back on that season as, okay, God, I see how you're weaving all of this together, and thank you for these wonderful people that you've placed in our life that have made this weave together. But yeah, I look back on that season more with joy and gratefulness than heartache and hardship. So very thankful, but
blessed families.
yes. But anyway, so we're moving in. We saw some boxes here and there. So I don't know if the house tour will be in this video. I'm thinking I might make a separate one. And then we'll start like doing update videos too as we start not fixing things, but updating things in the home. But yeah, we're excited. We finally have our own place, and really this weekend we put in a lot of work, and I feel like it's actually feeling more like a home, not just a storage unit, because we had a lot of boxes. But
yeah, we had a lot of boxes, but it unpacked pretty well.
And moving day, very, very thankful. Like moving in, we had such a wonderful crew.
Like took 2 hours, like 2 hours between going and getting the stuff, driving to location and stuff like that. And then we had more than enough people. It took us 20 minutes to unload the U-Haul and get everything in.
Like literally. And I mean, they didn't really let me lift anything. I was just telling them where to put things.
Technically has the strength of a full-grown woman with a small child, but you know,
and
I don't want her to flex that.
No, I mean,
Still
I was
working on
like
this
the little
one
boxes
app right here.
I would lift like the little boxes and stuff, and I am still working out my doctor has approved me for all of this stuff, so I'm good. But yeah, I'm not gonna lift like the extremely heavy.
I'm still gonna treat you like my princess.
Yeah.
Paul was getting on this ladder to look at microwaves because he wasn't quite tall enough, so he literally walked right over there and just grabbed a ladder and came over here. Of course, the first TV show we're watching in the house.
It's something that we can work to.
Yep. And just some microwave chicken pot pies, which we didn't have aluminum foil for, so it just got a little crispy, but it's still good. First night in the house. Ignore my massive zit that I had to pop. But, yup, watching The Office, eating chicken pot pies. Taking a break from all the moving. But so far, so good.
So far, so good.
Okay.
So, slight update from your boy here. Caitlin was experiencing some Galentine's Day fun with her and all of her girlfriends. So I've been working away at trying to clear up the kitchen and taking care of some boxes in the living room. That way we just have a lot more space to work with here. And also in the little bit of free time on top of that, I've been working on something of a Valentine's Day gift for her. It's a small little creation. At work we have boxes and all kinds of stuff that either get used or don't, so I snagged one and decided to make her this little Valentine's Day box with a little bit of a theme. Maybe not her taste entirely, but who cares? I gotta have a little fun with it. So as you can see here, I have a little depiction of a robot exploring something of a planet in a galaxy far, far away, with the caption here, exploring the galaxy for love. Little things on the side that would just indicate like mission log, kind of Buzz Lightyear-esque kind of stuff, mission date, 2, 14, 23. Just making it up a little cute. I haven't exactly decided on what to put in yet. So I'm gonna have to go shopping here and fill you in on that next part. Anytime I go to draw just about anything, if I can have The Office playing in the background, I try to. It's the one show that I can have on while I'm drawing, and it can play in my head without me actually having to look. I like rewatching this first couple seasons just because it was the start of the show, and I think some of the best writing was in those first 3 seasons. Hey, and now, since Caitlin's still gone and having fun with her friends, this is The Office, which I hope to spend some of my own personal time working on art and other things. And right now I'm about ready to be in my happy place, which is organizing all my movies again. I had them in boxes but pulled some out to watch them as we were moved into my parents'. Movies are special to me. They offer a chance of relax, good storytelling, and a good laugh.
Thank you guys so much for following along on this journey. But yeah, like I said, if you want to know the full story on the first home where we lost our earnest money in the cellars, we're being a bit challenging, then definitely I'll link that video down below. But thank you guys for following along. And if you want to see our pregnancy announcement videos, we have one video of just Paul and I figuring out that we're pregnant together. And then I have a video of us telling all of our friends and family, which seems to be quite the hit on YouTube right now. So if you want to check out that, definitely head over to our channel and find those videos. But thank you guys so much for the support and following along with our journey.
More to come.
More to come. Love you guys. Bye.